Rise and shine, TV family. It's just after 0700, Monday, February 2nd. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early. But we've got a great show for you. So you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Josie Meets. I'm going to be your host this week, filling in for Dan Kuntz while he's on assignment. Here in a little bit, we'll have the latest local headlines for you, followed by sports. Our sports director, Eric Granstrom, continues his sizzling Seahawks Super Bowl coverage. And it's Groundhog's Day, so we'll find out if Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow or not. And you know, this is the first time in my life that I've stayed up, or I've woken up early to watch the actual rousing of the groundhog. And it's quite entertaining. It seems like those people, they party all night, and then they come out with their top hats and wrangle a wild animal to find out if we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or not. In the back half of the show, Mike Mad Dog McNaughty will have an opinion, as he always does, and we'll catch up with 2 of the minds behind this year's Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant, Christine Jarr and Carly Stanford. That's all coming up in the next hour, but first, the weather. Currently outside, it is around 34 degrees, low fog, low clouds. There's the Widener project coming along. You can already see people working on it, which is quite amazing. And do they have an outhouse on top of it? Wow, that's something else. But yes, the weather. Milder weather patterns with light precipitation expected through today. Snow will be limited. To the mountains, accumulations will be very light with no impacts expected for mountain passes. The forecast then trends to drier again on Tuesday. Temperatures will remain mild and above normal. Today's high is 41 and the low tonight is 35. We'll be getting the sunrise around 7:25 a.m. Sunset will be around 5:04 p.m. That's 9 hours and 39 minutes of daylight hours. So we're adding 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Now we're overlooking Kashmir from Hay Canyon. Good morning, Kashmir. If ensembles remain in good agreement, with a ridge building over this period, this will largely mean drier weather, but we will have to contend with low clouds and some patchy fog. After Tuesday, the mountains in southeast central Washington will have the best chance of seeing some sun during the day, but the remainder of central Washington will be struggling each day. There is a potential in the afternoon and evening for its erosion and may be eroded to a bigger extent later in the week. But temperatures will largely be in the upper 30s and 40s today and much of the area Tuesday, with some 50s coming in southeast central Washington. And there is the view from our Billy Goat cam above Brewster/Pateris. You can see that deck of clouds. It kind of is socked in, but you also see the sun coming up over them, and hopefully will burn some of those away. Confidence may wane later in the week. If the stratus holds, the temperatures would be colder than currently forecast. Again, that sunrise will be fully risen 7:25 a.m. And here we have the Arundel Rock camera. You can see those clouds socked in over the river. And of course, Turtle Rock and Lake Iniat as people make their way to work this morning. 7-day forecast. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. To learn more, visit colonialvistasl.com. On Monday, rain likely between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m., patchy fog before 1 p.m., then patchy fog after 4 p.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 41. Calm wind, chance of precipitation is 60%. New precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch possible. Monday night, we'll have patchy fog. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low around 35. And that calm wind follows us into Tuesday. Tuesday, areas of fog before noon. Otherwise, cloudy with a high near 44. And later that night, mostly cloudy with a low around 37. Wednesday will remain mostly cloudy with a high near 46, and Wednesday night mostly cloudy still with a low around 35. Thursday, partly sunny. Exciting stuff. We love that golden sunshine. With a high near 47. Thursday night will be mostly cloudy with a low around 35. Friday, mostly cloudy still with a high near 48, and Friday night mostly cloudy with a low around 36. Saturday brings a 20% chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 46, and later that night the percent doubles to 40% chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a low around 37. And Sunday brings us a 50% chance of rain, partly sunny with a high near 48. And that is our weather, our 7-day weather forecast. News is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm your host, Josie Meets. We'll be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Welcome back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And now to the news. We got lots of local news to get to, so let's jump right into it. Moses Lake police say they've arrested 3 people after serving a search warrant linked to ongoing drug and firearms investigations. The agency's street crimes unit entered a home on Cathy Drive about 6 a.m. Thursday morning. There they allegedly found an undisclosed amount of cocaine, along with 9 firearms. 2 Moses Lake men, 35-year-old Sergio Giron and 24-year-old Alberto Mendoza, were jailed on suspicion of drug possession with the intent to deliver. A third person, a 53-year-old woman, was released, but may face unrelated fraud charges. The case remains under investigation. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies and partner agencies were involved in a dramatic winter rope rescue earlier this month. On January 3rd, about 10:15 p.m., they found a vehicle abandoned about 4 miles up Icicle Road outside Leavenworth, which had earlier been involved in a non-injury crash. The driver had apparently clambered down from the road towards Icicle River, where he fell into the icy water and became stuck between the rocks. One deputy was lowered down the slope using a rope line tied to a patrol vehicle bumper and helped the driver free himself and climb back to safety. The rescue was recorded on police body cam. The man was treated at Cascade Medical Center for hypothermia. Authorities say without such quick intervention, the incident might have turned deadly. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office will no longer accept cash or check payments for concealed pistol licenses and DUI cost recovery fees. Moving forward, the department says it will only accept payment by debit or credit card. The Sheriff's Office says accepting cash and checks requires additional staff time and resources for processing, tracking, and issuing refunds. Transitioning to electronic payments should help streamline these processes. The change, which goes into effect on February 9th, also applies to all new concealed weapons applications, including renewals and replacement licenses. Volunteers Thursday morning traveled throughout Chelan and Douglas counties to make a census of the state of homelessness. The point-in-time count is organized by Chelan County with assistance and cooperation from numerous local nonprofits. Communities are required to carry out such counts by the state and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Last year, 104 people voluntarily reported being unsheltered in the two-county area. Madison Calloway, Chelan County's homelessness program supervisor, said volunteers encountered fewer people this year who agreed to be surveyed. The 2026 results will be available sometime at the end of February. The city of Leavenworth has come out in favor of a bill that would allow cities to tax short-term rental bookings in much the same way they tax hotel rooms. House Bill 2559 would allow cities and counties to impose up to a 4% tax on short-term rentals and apply the revenue towards affordable housing programs. Mayor Carl Flory advocated for the bill last week in the House Finance Committee hearing, along with Leavenworth City Council member Zeke Reister. STR managers who testified took the opposite view.
This does allow us to cooperatively work with our county, and the county is very much in favor of this as well. And there are hundreds of them outside of our short little Leavenworth that are in the county, but they're still part of our community. So yes, it would generate those funds, and we would work with our county. They know our need to be able to provide housing for Leavenworth. And whether it's in I only control what's in my city limits, but that's my community's greater than that. And so helping us to get housing in the Upper Valley would help us get our workforce housing. You did pass this out, very similar to this last year. We just couldn't get it over the line. We need to get it over the line. Leavenworth is losing its community, literally losing it, because we're so popular for second homes. We cannot afford to have a workforce live there. This bill, and you talk about a nexus, there's no stronger nexus than the fact that every one of these short-term rentals could be, and many of them have been, permanent housing. And now, because of the popularity, they're used as second homes, and it takes away stock from ours. Asking them to help us replace that with a first home that can be for our workforce is what this is about. And if we don't get a significant tool to begin to address it, we're going to lose the community completely. So thank you for passing it out last year. Help us get it over the finish line this year, and help us to stop the hemorrhaging that's taking place in our community.
The impact of STRs on our housing stock is significant. There is a true nexus between the presence of STRs, the lack of affordable housing in Leavenworth. I would like to remind you that in Chelan County, 37% of the STRs are owned by residents, whereas 63% of the STRs in Chelan County are owned by non-residents. So it's truly a need to protect the locals. In Chelan, this tax is applied only to STRs where the owner is not present. This tax, these STRs we're talking about, the ones that are homeowner occupied, are exempt from this tax.
The February 2025 Congressional Research Service report on short-term rental markets makes clear that the housing impacts differ from locality to locality based on supply, demand, land use constraints, and the regulatory environment. The CRS report also discusses potential economic benefits of STRs, including impacts on tourism and local employment. I bring up the CRS report to underscore that the research is mixed and it's not clear statewide solutions would be effective. One statewide solution that could be impactful would be a smaller tax on all lodging types. A broad-based approach would avoid singling out one segment and reduce incentives to shift demand between lodging options. HB 2559 is well intended, but it has unintended consequences, some of which could harm Washington's guests, hosts, and the hospitality service workers who potentially need housing relief the most.
Construction on the new Kashmir Public Library at the Riverside Center is beginning early. After construction was initially set to start mid-2026, North Central Washington Libraries announced on Thursday that it would be starting this month and hopes to move into the new library by late summer or sooner. Updates to the Riverside Center will include 3 new meeting rooms of various sizes and uses, new paint, carpet, and updated furniture and shelving. There will be no interruptions to library services during construction, as the Kashmir Library continues to operate out of its current location on Woodring Street. There will be a temporary closure once construction is complete for staff to move materials and services into the new space. An event to raise awareness for missing people around the country will be held at Pybus Public Market tomorrow. National Missing Persons Day is held annually on February 3rd and highlights the need for public assistance in locating missing adults and children. The local event is organized by Denise McBurney, the mother of Travis Coleman, a Wenatchee man who walked away from his home in 2023 and is presumed dead. The day is meant to put attention on missing people, support their families, and keeping search cases active and in the public eye. At Pybus, information will be available for families on what to do if a loved one goes missing. The Wenatchee Police Department will be on hand to answer questions. And that's our news. The news team will be coming in shortly to prepare this evening's broadcast. Of course, the evening broadcast with Grant Olson is at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. You can also find us on our socials, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. If you're watching us on cable, you should know our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. The same newsroom also puts out a newspaper. New edition available tomorrow. Buy one. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee. And we're gonna go to a quick break, after which we'll get into some sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Join NCW Life Channel Sports Director Eric Grandstrom for daily reports on the Seahawks as they prepare for Super Bowl 60. Eric will give you the inside scoop as the Hawks try to win their second Lombardi Trophy. Coverage is brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Doghouse Motorsports, Dragoo Financial, and Latimer Chiropractic. Follow the Seahawks with Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Welcome back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're moving around right along this morning, and so we're hopping into sports because we like sports. We don't care who knows. NCW Life Sports Director Eric Granstrom has our Seahawks report on the architect of this year's Super Bowl bound team.
It's time for special Seahawks Super Bowl coverage right here on the NCW Life channel. Today's report brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Doghouse Motorsports, Dragoo Financial, and Latimer Chiropractic. And now, here's our own sports director, Eric Granstrom.
While the Seahawks fans are celebrating the fourth trip to the Super Bowl in franchise history, it's important to recognize the architect who built this team. John Schneider was hired by Seattle in 2010 as Pete Carroll was named head coach. Schneider and Carroll combined to completely turn over a roster that had been built by Mike Holmgren. Within 4 years, Seattle was back in the Super Bowl for a second time, winning convincingly over Denver. Following the 2024 season, Schneider and the front office moved away from Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, and offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, bringing in Clint Kubiak, Cooper Kupp, and Sam Darnold. Schneider says Darnold was everything he was billed to be.
Yeah, everything that, Clint had talked about, Kevin O'Connell, all the guys that, we had done our research with, just the person, the competitor, the way he treats his teammates, the leader. He hasn't flinched. It's kind of like I think we were all more panicked, than what was going on than he was. He was kind of like looking at us like we had three heads. He's like, what's everybody so worried about? Yeah. So he's like, I'll be good. So I haven't seen a lot of quarterbacks not throw a ball and then go out and play like that. And we've been blessed to be around some pretty damn good ones.
Following the departure of Pete Carroll in 2023, Schneider hired Mike Macdonald to take over the reins. In 2 short seasons, Macdonald has the Seahawks back in the Super Bowl. Schneider says it was easy to see Macdonald was his man for the job.
With Mike, it was, like the clarity of and I'm sure you guys know this speaking with him, it's like this really clear, thoughtful, intense, intelligent messaging. And then it's when you sit down with somebody, it's like, okay, how can I see myself partnering up with this person? And we did it in the same manner like that Pete and I did. It's like, all right, can we sit down and be like simpatico, and like, are we gonna be able to work through our ugly times together? Because there's gonna be a lot of them. And that was what was very clear about Mike, and exceeded expectations. I think that's hard to gauge because you're so into the moment every single day. It's hard. We don't. It's like the man in the arena thing. Like you like step back. Like we're not able to like step back like everybody else is, and it's just like you're just constantly going.
As Monday dawns in Santa Clara, the Seahawks will be in the Bay Area setting sights on the Patriots and Super Bowl 60. We'll have more on the Seahawks preparations on our next report.
Eric will have another report tonight during the NCW Life Evening News. The Seattle Kraken matched a season high with their 4th straight win Saturday in National Hockey League play. Seattle jumped out of a 2-goal lead before Vegas closed the gap with Capo Caco, who scored the game winner in the Kraken's 3-2 win. John Forsland had the call on Kong TV.
Cole Schwint doesn't work. It's broken up, and now Hurdle sets up Ben Hutton. Here it comes. Stop. And no rebound allowed by Joey Decor. It's scaled around for Stevenson. Ryan Winterton on the second line tonight. Montour with a shot, blockered along by Schmidt. Carry the puck through center. Hannafin now in full flight. Now Reinhart going wide, a shot fought off by Decord. Hannafin off the court again. Montour attempting to get to it. Out of the corner, drawn out by Bowman. Turned over to Winterton, and Seattle's back out. Here comes Chandler Stevenson. He'll bust in, a slot pass. Winterton, pad save. Tolvanen scores on the rebound. Ellie Tolvanen collides with Graham Skilleter, the referee, and the referee's okay. And Ellie, with lots of class, checked him out.
Looking to lay the body.
A loose puck. Maddie Beniers, he's in, turned out by Schmid, and the rebound controlled by Vegas. From the corner, Eberle in back of the goal, kicks it out to Stevenson. Lynn directed back for Dunn. Vince Dunn, Stevenson one more time. Dunn again. McCann, he scores! Jared McCann with a bullet, his 200th goal in his National Hockey League career. Caden Korzak can control the puck out to center ice. Eichel looks around. He's got Barbashev and a trailer in Bowman. He'll take it in. Jack Eichel circles the wagons, lays it back. Hutton now for Shea Theodore. Ben Hutton going wide. Eichel at the goal line in front. They score! Ivan Barbashev parked out in front, and a brilliant pass by Jack Eichel. And Mitch Marner walks in, sends a pass off for Tomas Hertl. 19 seconds on the clock. Eichel at the half wall, pressured by Stevenson. Marner darts, shoots it, he scores! Mitch Marner works his magic. 10.8 seconds left in the second period. The Golden Knights have tied it. In the high slot, now to the point, Schwartz, he'll send it in. Moved along by right, glove down for a moment by Korzak. To the wall, Lozon. Larson spins it off a body. They score! Capo Caco out in front. Picks up the loose change and shoves it by Schmid. Eichel gets to it. We go coast to coast. Ivan Barbashev all alone. God! Oh, what a dandy by Joey Decor. Now Marner again wide through traffic. Larson in tight. Eichel's got it. His shot blocked. Smothered by Joey Decor. 55 seconds left. Face off to the wall. Eichel flings it. Stop. The rebound in front. Blocked. It goes high. That's all. That's Kraken hockey, baby. What a win tonight in Las Vegas.
Seattle travels to Anaheim tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with the game broadcast on TNT and HBO Max. Men's college basketball teams were 3 for 4 in winning games over the weekend. Number 6, Gonzaga, held off St. Mary's in the Kennel 76-65. Washington topped Northwest 76-62. Washington State dominated Portland 104-74. Northern Colorado edged Eastern Washington 74-71. In women's college basketball Saturday, Northern Colorado downed Eastern Washington 71-62, while Gonzaga held off Washington State 81-75. Number 25, Washington, could not overcome Illinois on the road Sunday, falling 75-66. Wenatchee Wild played not 1 but 2 overtime games in WHL play over the weekend, the first of which was on Friday in Portland. The Winterhawks got out to a 2-0 lead over Wenatchee, who came storming back for the overtime win. Evan Richardson had the call on the Portland Winterhawks radio network.
Able to keep in for a moment, and now this breaks loose for Kyle McDonough. McDonough, back pass, ricocheting in towards Conway, loose on the far side of the net. They score! Nathan Free cashes in. It's an early goal for the Winterhawks.
15 years, Portland's really demonstrated its ability around NCAA championships. Better call that goal.
And that's Luke Wilfley on the cleanup near side circle, and he's got another tally on this calendar year.
Let's go Hawk.
Back up top, Darby shot save, Weiermeyer cleanup, and Conway stretches out for an incredible save. Right side point, back to Toll, now Kraft, his shot deflected and they score. Kalen Jodry on the doorstep has done just about everything you could ask of him in tonight's game. 10:30 to go in this game. Long shot from the point. Save made by Stebatek. Rebound. They score. Jodry with the game on his stick. Denied by Stebatek. Wenatchee still holding on to the puck. The all-out attack that we once saw during the infancy stages of this frame. Now diving in and scoring is Hahn.
Wenatchee headed to Kennewick for Kennewick Saturday to take on Tri-City Americas. The Wild scored first and would need another midway through the third to force another overtime contest. Craig Boschiman had the call on Tri-City Americans radio network.
Face-off coming up on the glove hand side of Ryan Grout, who has been busy here with 12 saves in this first period. Off this draw, Mason Kraft digs it free, and a one-timer. They go in. There's Lucas Sherbina, his first goal in 6, 19th of the year, and the Wild take a 1-0 lead. Well, Martin cycling behind the net. Connor Dale giving chase, leaning on Josh Toll. Toll being pressured. Dale took it away right in front. Martin denied by Tversnick. Great chance and a wonderful stop by Tobias Tversnick to keep it 1-0 Wenatchee. In the corner, up to the line, 50 seconds to go on the power play. Vanacek with it. Vanacek to Verk, looking in, high slot. Verk fires and scores! 22nd goal of the season for Savin Verk as he fires it through a screen. It's 1-1. The net comes free. Here's Connor Dale. Snapshot blocked. Dale looking for a rebound in the blue paint. Nobody can find it. Dale again reaching for it. Tversnick is down, falling on his backside as the puck comes in front of the goal. Nobody can find that puck. Wenatchee loses it. Kerchal banks it around. Here is Dale looking in front for Paveo, and he tapped it just wide. Had the open net, couldn't get to go. Now he wraps it around and scores!
That's a Jiminy Cricket goal right there by Paveo. If first you don't succeed, try again.
Blue line for Vanacek. Over to Verk again. Vanacek now looking in. Here is Verk on right wing. Back to Vanacek again. Vanacek fires off a leg and wide. Verk gets the rebound. Savin Verk to Vanacek. Vanacek to Garland now left circle. Back to Vanacek. One-timer kicked away by Tversnick. Rebound, Verk chasing it down. He's got control and finds Vanacek across. Garland swinging a miss on the one-timer. In below the goal line, Wenatchee digs it free, and they will clear the puck down the ice. Paveo wins it. Here is Carter Savage now. Savage to the slot. Nice pass. Drop play. Cruz. Paveo snaps one on. Stop. Rebound. Tversnick diving out to his left. And then falling on top of Tversnick was Paveo. He will be dragged out of that pile, and that draws a bigger crowd. He'll leave for Paveo. Works it out in front. Comes to the right face-off circle, and the Americans have to hustle back as Wenatchee breaks ahead. Jodry has Sherbina going to the goal. There's the pass, and the puck goes in, but the play is whistled off. Referee says no goal. Sherbina bumped into Ryan Grout, and the goal is waved off. Benson has it. Benson, saucer pass up top. Toll at the midpoint. Josh Toll to Cappy, skating downhill, goal line feed. Benson tries to walk in front, and he scores. A power play goal for Levi Benson as he sneaks it past the blocker of Ryan Grout. 7:49 to go in the game. It's 2-2. Here come the Wild through center. Caffey with a ton of speed, cutting to the slot. Nolan Caffey couldn't get a shot away. Gavin Garland pokes the puck ahead, looking for Verk. Back of Vanacek, fires on, bouncing puck, comes right back to Paveo, and now Vanacek again. Here is Savin Verk cutting across the blue line. Verk looking in, right circle, drags to the middle and shoots. Rebound, Martin jamming away, he scores! Grady Martin scores the overtime winner! Tri-City 3, Wenatchee 2!
Wenatchee returns home Friday to host Victoria at 7 o'clock at the Town Toyota Center. NCW Life broadcast 2 prep basketball games last Friday, with the visitors coming out on top in both contests. The Davis Pirates took down Eastmont in both games, with the boys winning 59-46, behind the 18 points of Davis Velasquez. Tice Llewellyn led Eastmont with 18 points. The Davis girls continued their defense of a state 4A championship with a 72-22 win over Eastmont. Cheyenne Hull led the 4 players in double figures for the Pirates with 16 points. In other action Friday, West Valley topped Moses Lake 78-58. Ellensburg eased Ephrata. East Valley clipped Quincy. Chelan beat Bridgeport. Tenasket toppled Cascade. Liberty Bell edged Lake Roosevelt 74-72. Okanagan blew out Manson 81-31. Enumclaw got tossed by Moses Lake Christian 54-49. Oroville toppled Wilson Creek 45-29. Iniat stopped Soap Lake 67-33. In girls play Friday, West Valley topped Moses Lake by 11. Ellensburg dominated Ephrata 64-16. East Valley edged Quincy 48-32. Chelan beat Bridgeport 52-13. Cascade topped Tenasket 66-32. Lake Roosevelt rolled Liberty Bell 78-37. Okanagan mauled Manson 62-23. Waterville Mansfield topped Yakima Tribal 64-56. Soap Lake stopped Entiat 57-33, and Wilson Creek downed Oroville 36-31. Moses Lake boys bounced back Saturday for a 90-67 win over Eisenhower. Wenatchee edged Sunnyside 58-49. Kashmir downed Wapato 70-49. Oroville edged Waterville Mansfield 47-42. The Ike girls edged Moses Lake Saturday 57-51. Sunnyside was 31 better than Wenatchee. Wapato won at Kashmir 56-44. The NCW Life News channel will be out for more wrestling matches this season tomorrow night at Eastmont as the Wildcats host the Davis Pirates. Eric Granstrom will be mat side for the play-by-play on our Facebook page with the girls at 6 and the boys at 7. The match will air on TV this Saturday at 7 o'clock. And now we get into obscure holidays. As we mentioned, it is Groundhog's Day, and Phil the Groundhog, he saw his shadow, so that means 6 more weeks of winter, or so they say. Today is also World Wetlands Day. It's the day of the crepe, which I kind of wish I had a crepe right now. And it's also Play Your Ukulele Day. Please don't, we don't want headaches. It's National Tater Tot Day, so Napoleon Dynamite will be happy to hear that, and it's also National Sled Dog Day. But the holiday, or day, obscure holiday we will be focusing on is National Sickie Day. Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that the first Monday in February is statistically the day when the most employees call in sick. There is no federal law in the U.S. that mandates employers give employees sick days, paid or unpaid. Washington state law requires employers to provide paid sick leave to their employees. In Washington state, employees must be provided 1 hour of paid sick leave for every 40 hours worked. Employers must provide paid sick leave to all employees regardless of full-time, part-time, temporary, or seasonal status. Full-time employees are given an average of 7 sick days per year. Today in history, guess that state flag. I'll give you a second. That is the flag for New Amsterdam, later renamed the City of New York. Is incorporated on this day, February 2nd, 1653, 373 years ago today. Over 37% of New Yorkers were born in another country. So it's unsurprising that the city's residents speak a wide range of languages, around 800 different languages in the city. The first American pizza joint opened in New York City by Italian immigrants in 1905. There are about 1,700 pizza restaurants in New York City today. 40% of the population of New York State lives in New York City. New York is home to the highest number of billionaires of any city in the world. The city has over 120 colleges and universities. If the boroughs were each independent cities, 4 of the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and the Bronx, would be among the 10 most populous cities in the United States. February 2nd, 1876, 150 years ago, the first organized sports league, the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs of Major League Baseball, is formed. February 2nd, 2014, 12 years ago, the Seattle Seahawks defeat the Denver Broncos 43-8 and win Super Bowl 48 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Seahawks' 35-point victory is the largest margin of any victory for a team that was the underdog. It was the first outdoor Super Bowl played in a cold weather city. The halftime show featuring Bruno Mars had higher ratings than the game itself. This was the first Super Bowl played outdoors on artificial turf since Super Bowl X in 1976 at the Miami Orange Bowl. This was the first time that any NFL game ended with a 43-8 final score. February 2nd, 2020, 6 years ago, Kansas City Chiefs defeat San Francisco 49ers 31-20 and win Super Bowl 54 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. 62,417 people in attendance, making it the smallest attendance since Super Bowl I. With this win, Kansas City became the first NFL team to come back from a 10-point or more deficit in the 3 playoff games since in the same season. And birthdays, 2 exciting birthdays today. Born in 1895, George Halas, of course, he passed away in 1983 at the age of 88. He co-founded the NFL in 1920. He owned the Chicago Bears for 63 years and was the head coach for 40 years. The NFC Championship trophy is named in his honor. And Melvina Dean, born 1912, passed away in 2009. She is the last survivor of the sinking of the Titanic. At 2 months old, she was the youngest passenger on board. Up next, Alpine Air. Yes, for heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They're our platinum sponsors for the show, and we thank them very much for their support. Coming back after the break, we will catch up with Carly and Christine from the Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant and hear what they have in store for us this year. But first, of course, we'll hear Mike Magnotti's opinion. That's after the break. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. When NCW Life came on the air in 2016, Dan Kuntz started his show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan asked me to do this bit called Everyone's Entitled to Mike Mad Dog Magnotti's Opinion, and I've been doing it ever since. I recently checked and estimated that I have given my opinion on over 300 different topics. Who possibly could be filled with that much hogwash that he thinks it's interesting enough to share? I don't know if I want to answer that one. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
Welcome back. Joining me today is Christine Jarr and Carly Stanford. One is the current director of the Apple Blossom Pageant, and one is the former director of the Apple Blossom Pageant. How are you ladies doing today?
Doing good. Great.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Do you mind just kind of telling me a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. Christine, you want to go first?
I'm Christine. I work in marketing. I grew up in the Wenatchee Valley. Carly and I went to high school together. I started working and volunteering, well, it's all volunteer, I guess, for the Apple Blossom Festival in, I want to say 2021. And then, yeah, once they get you in, it's hard to leave.
Yeah. So similar to Christine, grew up in the Valley. My husband and I moved to Sammamish for about 5 years, and about 3 years ago now I moved back. So I called Darcy and said, hey, how do I get involved in the community? And so she of course said, okay, we're gonna join Lions, help out with the Apple Blossom stuff, and it's been wonderful. So this will be my 3rd pageant that I've helped out with, and it's been a lot of fun. We also help out with, we do the beer garden, the parade, the Apple Blossom auction, so lots of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Your 3rd year being involved with the pageant, is it your 1st year as director?
1st year as director, yep. And the Wenatchee Central Lions Club has been doing this pageant for about 50 years now. So,
yeah.
As director, what excites you most about this upcoming pageant?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's just a great group of girls, and the theme is a lot of fun this year, and then all of the team that we have, from the dressers to the security to everybody that we have backstage, it's just a really fun group.
And if I'm not mistaken, the theme is boy band?
boy band, kind of through the eras. So you'll see little bits of that with like past TV shows, boy bands, girl bands, all of it.
Fun. I can't wait for that opening number. Christine, as a previous director, do you have any advice for Carly kind of in her getting her shoes wet and having this first experience as director?
Take advantage of your assistant, which Carly was my assistant last year. So yeah, we are kind of a well-oiled machine now, especially doing it at the PAC. We have Mike there, we have the whole PAC staff that really helps out. I would say it doesn't change a lot year over year, but yeah, lean on your assistant.
What's something the audience or the community would be surprised to learn about what goes into pageant night? And whichever one wants to take that, I think it's fair game.
That we start planning in probably late September, early October, and also that we're all volunteers. So everyone that you see behind stage, besides the PAC employees, are there because we love it and are there because we love to volunteer and we love Apple Blossom so much. So yeah, I would say that we're all volunteers and that we start planning so much earlier than you probably expect us to.
So on the day of the pageant, the girls' day looks like it starts off with a morning panel interview, which is worth 30% of their score. And then in the afternoon, there's one-on-one interviews with the judges, which accounts for another 30% of their score. And then the pageant itself, which accounts for 40%. And in the end of it, 3 girls are crowned. But what is something that you hope that all 10 candidates walk away from pageant night experiencing or feeling?
Well, first of all, I hope that they're all proud of themselves. I mean, this is something that I wasn't comfortable enough to do when I was in high school, and I think it gives them all great experience. We were talking as they were going through the top 10 selection, kind of the interview experience that they get, and a lot of individuals don't get that prior to their interview for their first job. So I think it's really valuable skills that they can take through, to college, new jobs, all of that. I think it's really neat.
Yeah, I think I did top 10 in like 2012, and I still to this day remember the process and remember the interviewing and being able to stand up on stage and do a speech and an impromptu questions as a senior in high school is a huge accomplishment in front of all those people. So I would say just be proud of yourself, because it's a huge accomplishment.
Christine, is there a particular moment that captures what the royalty pageant means to you from a previous year?
I think just being involved with the girls and with Lions Club and helping out. I remember the volunteers that helped us back in 2012. And some of them are still around, and I think it's just such a huge part of our community, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it, was because I saw how fun they had and how much fun they had and how much they loved doing what they did. And so the moment I moved back here, I was like, I gotta get involved with that. Yeah.
Is there anything else that either of you would want the viewers to know or information you'd like to share?
I think it's kind of fun that everybody thinks, they'll ask us, like, who do you think is going to get the, who's going to be crowned, who's doing the best, and so much of that we can hardly even hear in the background. So we're just as excited as the crowd to kind of see who is it going to be, because we get to know them more on a personal level rather than what we're seeing, through their panel and their, all those interviews and their speeches, and we get glimpses of it. But yeah, we're just as surprised as everybody else. So I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, we spend so much time with the girls during rehearsals, and we would never be able to pick just 3 because they're all great. And yeah, again, we can't really hear anything backstage. So we're just as surprised as everyone else when those names are read. And that is so fun when you're standing backstage and with all the volunteers and you hear the names read, and it's just an exciting feeling.
Christine, Carly, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us
today.
Of course. The 107th Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant is on February 14th at the Numerica Pack. For tickets, visit the Numerica Pack box office.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCW Live Channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCW Live Channel.
Welcome back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm your host this week, Josie Meets. If you can't tell from today's broadcast and the interview, I'm rather green to this, but we'll get through it and have a lot of fun along the way, and so looking forward to it. We'll go to the cameras outside now and check out what the weather's doing out there. Here we have Hay Canyon overlooking Kashmir. Right now in the Wenatchee area, it's 39 with overcast clouds, and we can see that as they kiss the mountaintops. In Leavenworth, it is 36 degrees with overcast clouds. In Chelan, 44 with overcast clouds. Quincy is 34 with overcast clouds, and Okanagan is misty and at 38. Okay. Again, Monday today will likely bring rain between 7 and 1 p.m., 7 a.m. and 1 p.m., patchy fog before 1 p.m., and then patchy fog after 4 p.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 41. Calm wind and a chance of precipitation is 60%. Monday night, patchy fog, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low of 35, and a calm wind that follows us into Tuesday. Tuesday, areas of fog before noon, otherwise cloudy with a high near 44, and that calm wind Tuesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 37. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a high near 46. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 35. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 47. Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 35. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 48. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 36. Saturday, 20% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high is 46. And Saturday night is 40% chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a low cloud. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for joining me. In the words of Dan Kuntz, bye-bye.